pumped for this. About to head out to
Dude,
camp.
you're
Brandon.
beyond excited right now.
Dude, what's going on? We got a new face. We got a freaking
I know,
new
right?
face. Oh my gosh. Jeremy Corey, talk about
Yeah.
yourself. Give it to us. Who
What's
are
up,
you?
guys? My name's Jeremy Curry. I'm from New York. Big sports fan. Love the game of basketball. Played for some time when I was younger, into high school, some travel basketball. Met with at camp a couple years ago. You know, like-minded guys, both love sports, and needed some time away from school and stuff. So just decided to hop on the podcast with you guys. I'm excited
Hey,
to
we
be here.
appreciate it, man. We really
Yeah,
do.
thank you guys for having
1000.
me on. I really appreciate it.
I remember you when you were like this young boy balling, and now you're like a freaking man. We're gonna talk some sports. You're not ready for this. I'm not gonna lie. Me and Brendan, we go for necks. We go for the jugular.
It's
We don't
true.
care.
Hey, we're gonna find out if I'm ready, right?
Yeah,
Hey,
one way in. Throw you in the deep end.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So let's start. This was your idea. So can you explain what we're about to do to people or to the
All
people?
right. So we're gonna start off with one of those signature little internet trends right now, as everyone's hopping on. It's guess that player. We're gonna be doing different players within the NBA, present and past, and we're gonna be everyone has a player in mind right now. So we're gonna give everybody about 30 seconds, and then we're gonna try to guess that player. So yeah.
Yep.
Brandon, you got time?
I'm ready. Let's do it.
You know what, Jeremy? Let me do you. Let me give you my guy. Okay.
Gotcha.
All right. Do we just say ready, set, go?
Yeah.
Ready, set, go.
All right. Did he play in the East?
Yes.
Atlantic Division.
Yeah.
Raptors.
Wait. Pause the time. Pause the time. I didn't think he was gonna go like that. I didn't think he was gonna go like that.
I thought I wasn't ready. Damn it, dude. This is your podcast, bro.
Bro, this man just panicked.
Oh my gosh. I was like, I've never heard of this. What?
Atlantic Division?
Do you need us to tell you what
blanked.
divisions are what?
Please, at this point. Oh my gosh, you learned something new
Should
every
I get
day.
Jeremy to be the co-host instead of you?
You at this point, you know what? Yes.
It's Atlantic Central and Southeast. It's just like geographic.
Yeah, so Atlantic Central, go.
All right, is Atlantic Central? What do you mean by that? All right, is he currently playing?
Yes.
Does his team make the playoffs this year?
No.
Is he a veteran, or is he in like the first couple years of his career?
First
You got
couple
one
years.
more guess. You got one guess. It's past 30 now.
LaMelo Ball.
No.
Damn.
No. Frank Ntilikina.
Oh wow. It's a good one.
Brandon
That's
was
a good
talking
one.
the most trash. He was saying like, "Yo,
Yeah,
he's
that's
gonna be
because
playing like Steph
you
Curry."
you first went LeBron. You like, I need to change this.
Wait, his team did make the playoffs this year.
The Knicks didn't make the
Wow.
playoff.
He's on the Mavs.
Oh, they were.
He's yeah, bud.
He's on the Mavs now.
You are gonna get that. You are gonna get him. I'm learning
Never
this
know,
game.
bro.
I'm gonna
All
give you a repeat. Now I know what to ask you.
No, you're good. We go in a circle if you want.
I'm
We
gonna
come back.
I'm gonna give Woodie a player now just to see what he
Gotcha.
does. All right, you ready,
I'm
Woodie?
scared. Yes.
All right, let's go.
East.
Yes.
Like New England area.
Nearish.
Okay. Does he play for? Did his team make the playoffs?
No.
Okay. Is he currently playing?
Yes.
Is he on the neck? What team? What team? What team? What
You got
team in
30
New
seconds.
England?
I said nearish. You got 30 seconds.
Okay, Ohio.
Buddy, you gotta guess a player.
I have to guess a player. Damn, you really didn't give me anything.
These 30 seconds. It ain't long.
Okay, I'm gonna just. His team didn't make the playoffs. He's still currently playing. I'm gonna guess LaMelo.
Nope.
Damn,
Reddish.
stealing my guess.
Cam Reddish.
Who?
Cam Reddish.
Cam Reddish. Traded from the Hawks to the Knicks.
Didn't get any PT this year.
No.
We need one to do 15 seconds before.
I know, right? This man was like
Start on
15 seconds.
Not
It
enough. We
seemed
should
like
also
it was
put the
this
timer on
hard.
the screen. If you guys want, we can put the timer on the screen.
That's fine. I mean, we'll just do one more. We'll have you do
One
me real
more.
fast, and I'll fail
Got
also.
you. Got
Pause.
you. All right. Who's doing the time for this one?
I can still do it myself. I'll
Alright,
just
got
panic. I'll panic the whole time. It's fine.
All right, cool. Start it on you.
All right, let's go. Does he play in the West?
He's played in both.
Oh God, no, that doesn't help. Is he a current player?
No.
No. Okay. Was he top 75?
I believe so.
Oh, that doesn't really help. There's 75 to pick from.
No.
Does he have a ring?
No.
Okay, that narrows it down a fair bit.
He was not a part of the NBA 75.
Okay.
Clear answer.
Okay. Okay. So that changes my mind completely. Does he play small forward? Did he play small forward?
Yes. He's a small forward and a shooting guard. He's a wing.
Okay. All right. I'm out of time now. God, 30 seconds flies by.
It felt like
It
2
does,
seconds.
I
I
think
swear.
about
I don't
questions,
trust the
bro.
timekeeper
Small
on this one. Don't
forward
trust him.
doesn't play. Buddy, it says 34 right there. I was really narrowing it down once I thought he was on the NBA All 75 team. And then once you said he wasn't, I was like, now I'm in
No,
trouble.
he's definitely not.
Played on both sides. I honestly cannot tell you who. I'm completely stumped on this one.
You gotta guess.
Give it. Come on.
Doesn't play.
I'll give you a little hint. He's a big snub from the team.
Oh, okay. Right when he said stub, my first mind went to Kyrie Irving, even though I don't agree. Just because it was going to torment Embiid over there.
Currently playing though.
Well, he's not playing really.
Not really.
Who
was
that
it?
your guess?
Yeah, I mean, I got no one. Like, literally, my mind is completely stumped. The second it went
Kyrie
from
Irving.
not 75, Kyrie Irving, even though he's playing.
Do you have a guess for this one?
No clue. I was thinking Charles Barkley when they. I don't know.
Vince Carter.
I debated that one, but I thought he's on the 75. I thought he's on 75.
Surprisingly, he should have been. There were some irrelevant names on that list.
When you said he was, that's who I first pictured. And then right when you said he wasn't, I threw Vince Carter out the window.
I kid you not. I was this close about to ask you, who did you think it was if he was on the 75 list? Would you have said Vince Carter?
I would have said Vince Carter because I thought Vince Carter was on the 75.
Big snub.
Dude, huge stuff. I loved watching him play in Atlanta. I really did.
He was one of my top 3 favorite players of all time.
God, I should have just stuck with my gut there, but I thought he was on 75.
Yeah.
And then you said Kyrie Irving just to get at me. That's what you get for being petty. That's what you
Fair
freaking
enough.
get. But let's get into it. That was fun. Let's get into it.
We'll have to do that more. We'll do that some more.
Oh, I love that. Jeremy, you started something. Let me tell you.
There we go.
But here we go. NBA championship. Jeremy, I don't know if you know this, but Brandon fumbled the bag on this last chip. And I got a dinner, a jersey. So I've been right on most things come NBA talk. He's now in the lower tax bracket because of what I made him do.
I'm still above his tax bracket though, so it's fine.
Yeah, I am poor, so that's not saying much. But I gotta say, this NBA offseason from when we recorded the last pod and gave the news till now has been going kind of crazy. Brandon, please tell us the news of the day. Why your face is so glowing, shiny.
Well, I'm happy because my boys, the Hawks, traded for who I wanted them to get, honestly, like another scorer, another ball handler, DeJounte Murray from the Spurs, and we didn't have to give up John Collins. That's huge in my opinion. We gave up Gallo, who his contract was trash. We needed to get out of that. We gave up 3 first-round picks, and we swapped a pick, but the first-round picks are 2023, 2025, and 2027. So I'm completely okay with this deal. I don't know how y'all feel about that as non-big Hawk fans as I am, but as NBA fans.
I don't think it's going to matter as much. I think you need one more piece. I think you still need one more piece.
I do agree to that one.
I think if we're being honest, in today's NBA, with teams like the Warriors still being really competitive next year, getting James Wiseman back if he comes back healthy, the Celtics in the East, the Bucks in the East, the Heat looking to add another piece this offseason. If Philly retains James Harden, what are they going to do? What's Brooklyn looking like next season with Ben Simmons? I think the honest answer is that DeJounte Murray is a really good player, and he probably will make a difference this year. They'll probably be maybe we could get out the first round, but with teams like the Mavs with Luka Doncic, I think it's kind of comparable considering they were traded for each other on draft night.
100%.
You gotta look at
100%.
Luka and you gotta look at Trey. I don't think Trey or DeJounte are on that level to really have their team competing in the Eastern Conference Finals like how Luka had his team out west. So I think having those caliber players kind of reminds me of what happened with my fault. I'm fumbling this right
You're
now.
good, man.
It kind
No,
of
you're
reminds me of like every time that we've seen two stars on a team, Kyrie and KD.
Yeah.
Anytime there's ever only two stars on a team, could John Collins really step up and be that guy? And I think John Collins is a really good role player and he could be great within the system. But I don't think Trey's gonna. I don't think Trey's.
I agree to that, and that's why my biggest thing is that we didn't have Trey John Collins away, because this allows us to use him as another trade piece.
Yeah.
I still don't think he stays a Hawk, to be honest. There's been too much drama over the past 2 years of him wanting to be traded away. I think we'll at least try to trade him away and see who we can get, because you are correct. You need a third superstar. It just shows. Like, it showed with the Celtics losing the Warriors. They had their big three, but when one stepped away, two is just not enough to count. Like, you have to have three.
Yeah.
And it's going to be interesting because, like, you brought up Dallas and you brought up Miami, who, like, they're losing a couple of their stars most likely, and, like, they're being traded away. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah.
But I definitely agree that we need another one. But this is definitely a huge stepping stone, just because, one, it's multiple years of him under our control. Also, it's not like a one done guy. Like, we'll have him for multiple years. He's young. Last year was his first All-Star year on the Spurs team, who was not very good at all. But I'm excited to see, just because this allows Trey not to have to be on the ball as much as well, which is, I think, the biggest part of it is Trey can play off-ball movement now. He can actually go for, like, shots instead of having to,
like, Steph.
Yeah, exactly. That's what they're trying to make. Like, and will it work? We'll find out. But
Yeah.
I think
So
it's a big go for it.
Let's stay on the Hawks. And the whole point of this pod is we want to give the offseason moves that we want to see. So let's stay on the Hawks, right? We're all saying that they need another piece. Who do we think they need to go after to solidify their chances going deep in the playoffs, to compete with Brooklyn, to compete with, well, whatever is left of Brooklyn at this point?
Yeah.
The Bucks, I don't know who else, Boston, Miami. What do they need?
I think
we've been talking about DeAndre Ayton a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think he's the most likely at this point, because with Kyrie staying in New York now, KD's not going to leave. Like, they're going to stay together now, unless somehow Kyrie gets traded. Then everything else can go haywire, and you can throw everything we've talked about this pod out the window, because who knows?
Yeah,
but I think that getting Ayton would actually be huge. You could trade Collins plus a couple of your bench players, which would be fine, because then you need the cap space anyway if you're going to have those three guys being on the same team.
But keeping Capella?
I think you can keep Capella, honestly.
Okay. I think that Capella and DeAndre would be an interesting fit. I feel like the floor wouldn't be very spread out. Even like DeJounte Murray, I believe he's not shooting over like that 35% clip that you would say like a great shooter shoots. I really do like that the Hawks had a really, really good draft pick. Adrian Griffin out of Duke.
That was one of the steal the drafts, really, in my opinion. Yeah.
Him slipping out the lottery. I thought New York was going to take him with the 11th pick. I'm shocked about that. I think that he's going to be a really, really young, good core piece. I could see him making all rookie teams.
Yeah.
I think he's in store for a big season, because what they need right now is floor spacing. When Trey Young's on the floor, who's going to be shooting the ball?
Exactly.
And speaking of superstars, not only big man, James Harden is available. He declined his option, so to see where he's going to go. I don't think that they'd give him a max. Is he looking to win? Is he looking for money? Could you see him going to a team like the Hawks, or do you think he's going to go out to LA? Do you think he's going to stay in Philly?
He says he's going to stay in Philly for less money so that they can build a team around it. And I would like to believe him, because if he leaves Philly at this point, it's kind of going to be the same thing as Kevin Durant, in my opinion, with his like legacy of, you go somewhere to win. The difference is KD actually won, but it was with Steph. It was with Clay. Like, he won with those guys, and they clearly show they don't need him to win. But right now with Harden, he's gone to 3 different teams now
and forced his way out.
Yeah, and forced his way out. So this one, if he leaves, this is more like willing but it's also okay if you leave and go to another superstar team and then you win the ring, it's not you. So
Yeah.
I think he either stays in Philly to try to help Embiid, or he goes to. I don't want him at the Hawks, honestly, or he goes to a team like the Hawks who are not quite there, but with one superstar piece added, then
Yeah.
could be there.
I think it's interesting that we're actually talking about the Hawks right now because like the play-in tournaments can be really competitive. And
Yeah.
as funny as it sounds, Charlotte's a really young, promising team right now. They're like the Lake show from the '90s, throwing all those alley-oops left and right. LaMelo's a great point guard.
I saw a trade the other day. I can't remember when, but it was John Collins to pair up with LaMelo Ball, and the Hawks got, I want to say, Bridges and like 2 other people. And I was intrigued with that, but I also don't know if they would trade within the conference with each other since they're both in the same conference, because that's just going to hurt. It's just too much.
Too competitive.
Yeah.
Yeah. But the East looks real competitive this year. Them boys in Ohio, Cleveland's looking good again. So
yeah, they had a couple moves that happened a couple days ago, right? With Sexton and I forget the other guy that they re-signed both of them, right?
Yeah, I think they offered them. And
okay.
Free agency opens up when? Is it the 1st?
Yeah, tomorrow the 1st.
Yeah,
tomorrow.
Yeah.
So
also I know who else? I know that what's his face from Washington?
Bradley Beal.
He
declined, but it's to extend.
Well, they say it's to extend, but he's technically a free agent. So at this point,
I wouldn't be surprised if he fielded offers. You know what the Lakers need? They need a shooter. They need somebody who could score the ball when LeBron's on the floor. They need a young guy.
Trust me, I was waiting till we got to Bradley Beal because I'm pissed off if he signs again. He is wasting his life. He wasted his entire career if he decides to get this Supermax deal. Get him off this team. I'm not even saying go to the Lakers because I love Beal. He was great for DC. He was great for the city.
I would have loved him to come to team up with Trae Young, but he won't.
That would have been great.
That would be great for both of them, but
I agree.
Both of them. I think even if he was to sign the super max that I think deserves, what he needs to have around him is not going to come. Like no one's going to give up those superstars because he needs another star. He's not a ball handler like that. He could shoot the lights
If you could pick what team he goes to, then if both of y'all could pick who he goes to, who would y'all have him going to?
I see like Dallas.
That's fair because I mean they're losing Brunson most likely, so
he's going to the Knicks, which is bizarre.
He might be going to Miami though.
Yeah,
Miami's in the front. Yeah, Miami's in the running also.
Probably out of Miami.
Lowry's out, PJ Tucker's out, so they have space.
He'll be good without PJ Tucker.
Oh, I know they will. That's not a problem.
PJ Tucker's he's okay.
Yeah, no, that's not a problem. I'm people leave Miami. I just
So
who did Tucker sign to recently? He signed to the Sixers.
I don't think anyone signed him yet. But
okay.
In all honesty, if you could see, if Beal were to re-sign with Washington, it'd be really similar to when Dame re-signed with the Trailblazers on the Supermax.
It's interesting you mentioned Dame.
He's going to wait for help. Is KD going to come next year?
Because I honestly, if Beal leaves Washington, I think he might go to the Trailblazers.
I think Portland would be a great fit.
Yeah.
The problem is it's still going to be him and Dame.
I know.
A solid big. If a guy like DA went there.
Exactly. That's the thing. Like
everyone's talking about DA leaving. I don't see that. They've had a really successful past 2 seasons.
They have, but there's a lot of internal problems though between the head coach and DA's problem.
And he didn't play that last game. The fourth quarter. Monty sat him out against.
Monty said it was just internal issues, basically saying he doesn't want to be here and we don't want him here. Like
he was unhappy after last year. He was very unhappy after last year. Came in, Chris Paul talked to him. I think DA, he's gonna be good in multiple places. I feel like his name is gonna be thrown out. If I was him, I would personally wait until like later, see what other moves happen, and then kind of go from there.
I think that's what's big.
I think with Dame, the issue is what's the difference between that and John Wall and him? You know, like what is that going to do? I think he needs to go with a guy like Luka, a bunch of young talent, and like some actual promising future that could actually get him somewhere. Now, Beal won't have to be on the ball as much, so he could just be straight up spot up shooter, but he could bring that Brunson type of energy, which I think will fit perfectly, especially because they just signed that one guy earlier in like the offseason. And me and you both liked it.
Which team are you talking about?
Dallas. They just signed someone or traded or something.
I'll figure the center.
Yes. It was a good name. It will come to us.
Oh yeah, they traded away Porzingis and stuff. Not Porzingis, but what's his face? The other European
for Christian Wood.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah. That could be a good.
Okay, now I know what you guys said.
Yeah, that took a few minutes to get there.
Yeah, I was a little confused. I
was confused too.
Ball's a center, but I see that working. Luka on ball, Christian Wood doing his thing, Beal working in the West where they're competitive, and they've also always made noise. If you go to Portland, like you're not the team that was with CJ McCollum and then Dame, right? Like there's a different level.
Yeah. If he goes to Portland, then there has to be a third piece coming in.
Yeah.
Right.
It's the only way. But
in all honesty, all this talk about DA really reminds me of DeAndre Jordan when he was on the Clippers and they locked him inside his house until he signed that deal. You know, in all honesty, I think that his name's going to be involved in a lot of talks. But their team chemistry in Phoenix is insane. You see all those videos of them pregame dancing, singing on the court. Mikal Bridges and him and DeAndre Jordan are very close. Chris Paul was able to convince him to come back for another year. Try to get along with the coach over there, Monty. He's a great coach, but obviously personalities crash. But I really do think that DA might give it another year in Phoenix. I see Chris Paul's time coming to an end as a superstar.
I've been saying that for a while now.
They're going to be a really different team, and if they're going to go at it this year, they have to throw out some money out there, pay into the luxury tax, try to really get another star because you never know what's going to happen.
They need it.
How Chris Paul's going to play this year.
Right. I think Chris Paul is done. To be honest, I don't. He's not getting a ring in my opinion. It's just
unless he does something late in his career, I don't see him on.
What is his
play on the team?
What is his? He signed a huge extension when he went to Phoenix, but what year into that contract is he in? Isn't it this would be his third year out of 4?
Year 3.
Yeah,
year 3 out of 4. So I'm going to throw this out there, and this is something I want to talk about: the Eastern Conference Finals Rams, the Boston Celtics. Do we like or hate a possible move where they could get Chris Paul, which is what they need?
I don't like that. I don't like it, to be honest, because
they need a point guard.
They do, but you'd have to give up one of your young stars, and they don't want to break up that core.
You could sign Jalen Brunson. He's going to be doing the same thing Chris Paul at this age is going to be doing for a lot less.
I would rather you sign a free – like if I'm Boston, I'd rather sign a free agent than have to trade for one.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. So then who do you think – so, Jeremy, you think Brunson should go to the Celtics if he was to lay out the field? Where do you think he's going? Because the Knicks are in talk. Are you Knicks or Nets?
I'm a Knicks fan. Okay. So my life has been miserable.
Hi, welcome to misery. I understand your pain as a
Detroit
Atlanta
Lions
sports fan.
Detroit
all of us are right now. Real bad.
We're down in the trenches. If you're a full Detroit, do you like the Pistons?
I'm waiting to get there because I loved what they did in the draft. Loved it. We freaking robbed you guys, low key. I don't know why you did what you did, but we'll take it.
Because they're the Knicks. The Knicks.
And then you've got that guy from France. What's his name? I don't even know it.
We don't have him. We didn't get anybody in the draft. We traded away all our picks. Now we have 3 future first-round picks.
It's okay. The Hawks traded 2 picks for money, by the way.
Yeah.
So we literally traded for money.
Yeah, I really do think that RJ Barrett's gonna have a breakout year if we're talking about the Knicks.
I still wish the Hawks had got him. I like RJ Barrett a lot.
Yeah, I mean Cam Reddish is on that team now.
Apparently, there's talks of him being traded away again.
That'd be really sad. As a New York Knicks fan, I loved his game in high school. At Duke, he kind of underperformed, but what else is going to happen with you when you're with Zion?
The problem is your head coach does not like Reddish at all. He does not. He will not play him to save his life.
Yeah, but he also coached the Bulls team that was responsible for Derrick Rose's ACL tear. So I don't know how much longer he's going to be in New York. He really did help us win quite a few more games this year in the beginning of the season. I remember RJ Barrett's game winner against the Celtics.
That was a good one.
Technically, we're like an Eastern Conference Finals team because we beat the Celtics and they were in the finals. So, technically, we're up there.
That's true.
No, the Knicks are, I don't think they're going to be making much noise this year out of the East. I guess it's just
No
a
way.
slow grind for them. Not sure what's happening with Obi Toppin. Not sure what's going to be happening coaching wise. But you know they're bottom feeder this year, so we're gonna see how that goes.
It's
Yeah.
rough. It's rough to be just a Knicks fan. Now, honestly, I'm gonna bring it up because Brandon knows he's gonna have to go there. What the hell is going on with the Lakers?
Before the Lakers, I wanted to bring up a team in LA that's got a player, the Clippers,
John Wall, baby.
because John Wall is now a Clipper. And
You
I
called
wish
it.
I did call it. I told you after the pod, I was like, I should have said this on the pod. And like 10 minutes after I called Wadid, he was like, "Oh, he's a Clipper now." I was like, I called it.
Bet. Yeah.
Do we think this matters? Do we think the big three is actually going to make any noise? Do we think it's just
I
wasted?
don't think they're a
It's-
finals team.
And it's not. Wait. Whoa.
So you think they're
We were
playoffs?
talking about them being contenders.
That's true. Yeah.
I don't see
Okay,
that
but-
happening whatsoever. John
Well,
Wall's
you
a
guys aren't
great
looking
point
at
guard.
this trade the way or the signing as like what it was. Like it's not that it's now John Wall, Kawhi, and Paul George. No way in heck. It's Reggie Jackson, Kawhi, and Paul George. That's the
Deep
big three.
bench. The deep bench.
And now they just added to their bench. Kawhi's coming back.
John
Paul
Wall
George is
started.
coming
Are
back.
you kidding me?
He's gonna. Well, here's my thing.
He's-
John,
no way.
John Wall hasn't been healthy in 3 years. If
Did
he's
you see-
healthy,
That's what I'm
did
saying.
you guys watch him in Houston? John Wall played really
For the 10
efficiently
games.
he
against-
did. The few games he played in Houston, though.
Exactly, but I have faith in John Wall. He's always bounced back really solid from injuries.
That's
and
fair.
He's not coming off an injured season. He was benched. So
Yeah. So you think they make playoffs, but not a deep run?
I think they make playoffs. It depends on how healthy Kawhi comes back.
That I
really.
think that's the biggest deal. No matter
They're not
what, John,
beating a team
yeah.
like the Warriors, man.
John Wall can play out of his mind, but unless Kawhi's there healthy, they're not gonna be able to do enough.
I'm
I
going to
agree.
go out on the limb. I'm going to go out on the limb and say this. Given Kawhi comes back healthy, this team, the Western Conference Finals is going to be Golden State against the Clippers. That's the Western Conference Finals. If
Absolutely.
Kawhi comes back healthy,
This
that is
man.
what's going to happen. Reggie Jackson is going to go crazy, and he did when his numbers weren't that bad without any of them, Paul George and Kawhi. And then they got Paul George back. They were still competitive. I think this team is scary, like mad scary. No way, no way that they don't make. They're not a first round bounce. You know, when you're looking at the landscape of the
Not
like
first
the
round, but
Nuggets,
second round probably.
You think that they could beat a Memphis Grizzlies team? Memphis was
I
on a
tr-
roll last year. They look
Not that they weren't.
scary. Before Ja got hurt, it was looking interesting for the
Yeah.
Warriors.
and Ja going out, as much as their team was so great without him, you need him for those late
Oh, of
playoff
course.
runs. And they demand too much. I remember that first game 1 against the Warriors, he went in for that layup and he missed it, right? If he's going to be taking all the shots, he's got to have better shot creation than just like what we know. I knew the minute he got the ball, he's going to drive in and go left. Like that's what he's going to do. He needs to be more creative in that aspect.
Memphis needs another star.
He needs it. They need another star.
Bradley Beal.
But
for
if
the
they don't
Grizzlies.
get that,
I like that. I won't lie. I do like that. I do like Bradley Beal, the Grizzlies.
and if I'm being honest, I don't think the Grizzlies could beat a healthy Clippers team in a 7-game series. But if the Grizzlies see the Warriors again, they have a very, very, very strong chance of beating the Warriors just because they've always played them well. Going back to the Tony Allen, Mike Conley days, you know, they've always played the Warriors.
It's just
really,
one of those
really
things.
well. It's just one of those things.
But Andrew
so.
Wiggins really came to flourishing. Like, I don't think we could underestimate what Golden State is doing right now with Steph, who won
But you're
Finals MVP.
you're assuming that all those pieces come back and play just as well as they did last season.
It doesn't
the chan-
matter who they
the
have.
chances
they won
aren't-
with Zaza Pachulia. Like,
Yeah, but
they
I'm just
they
saying,
won
like,
with me and you. That's what they did.
Let's not push it. No, let's not quite push it.
First of all,
Not me.
some of the guys. I'm not
Not
saying
me.
this year. I'm not saying this year. I'm saying like that year Zaza. I look like him right now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, there's no way that like I can't do what he did. The only difference is that he's 8 feet tall and big. But what I'm trying to say is like, as long as I have Steph and Clay and Draymond Green, as much as me and you can't stand him, and I'm curious, Jeremy, where do you stand right
I
now?
love Draymond. Were you
right.
talking about that? Continue your point.
As long as I have those 3 guys and Poole's not going anywhere, Wiggins is in love. Where is he going? He would take. I think he will actually take less money to stay. You have Wiseman coming back. You also have Kuminga. You also have
Kuminga's a monster.
He is that.
I don't see the Warriors going anywhere anytime.
I don't see them going anywhere. But I'm saying
that's 8 people right there.
I don't know. But I'm
The
saying
only
if you have a fully healthy like Grizzlies team who plays the Warriors very well, as Jeremy said, like if you have you're assuming like all 8 of those players have to still play how they played last year. Because like if Jaw stays healthy,
better.
yeah, but I'm saying if Jaw is healthy,
Jordan Poole is really improving.
Yeah.
Jonathan Kuminga is really improving.
As long as if they played where they played last year, you're good. But if they drop off from this past season, then the Warriors are in trouble. If they play like specifically Memphis, if they're playing Dallas or the Clippers, I'm not worried. But specifically Memphis, I'm worried for them.
Do you remember when the Warriors, right before the dynasty started, the last team to beat them in the playoffs was that Clippers team, and I believe it was 7, right? And this current Warriors team kind of that Warriors team kind of reminds me of the Grizzlies right now because they're on the up and coming. They're very momentum oriented. They could have a great regular season or they could have a terrible regular season, but as soon as they get in the playoffs, whatever record they had in the 10 games prior is a team that they're going to play like. I could see the Warriors going 7 games with them if if these guys aren't playing well, if James Wiseman doesn't come back healthy. But if he comes back healthy, you have a guy who's a really high prospect out of high school. He looked really good out of Memphis. We thought he was going to be like an amazing star. We thought he was going to be what Jonathan Kuminga is right now. So if he comes back as the Jonathan Kuminga kind of guy, can guard the 4 and the 5, I don't think the Grizzlies have a chance against a healthy Warriors team.
As long as they
improved incrementally, I don't think he's going to fall off. Andrew Wiggins has always been this his whole career. Now he's just on a bigger stage. So
and if they get Beal, if Beal goes to Memphis, different story, completely different story.
Yeah,
because
not
now
completely, but
like they have the shooting. Like they're too young. The issue with Memphis is they're too young right now. They need not a vet because like how much experience does Beal have except for that 1 year with John Wall before John Wall tore or whatever.
I mean, if you want to say vets, they have Steven Adams. If you want to go like, vet count, I mean, he's a vet. If you're going on the category of vet, that's a vet right there.
But like a superstar vet type of guy, like Carmelo-ish vibes. Like
if you're talking that point, then you're talking Chris Paul going to Memphis. If you want a superstar,
no, he's not going. But I'm saying
that's who you'd have to get. That's the only superstar vet that's going to be available.
I'm saying Beal brings experience. Damn it, that's all I'm trying to say. He brings experience. He has grit. Fits very well with Memphis, but he has shooting, and he's not going to take crap from I think him and Ja will get along. He's not going to take that crap that Dylan Brooks did, or not Dylan Brooks, the other guy, Brandon Clark. Desmond Bain, son of a gun, that took out the Golden State player. I'm blanking on. He's not going to take that stuff. He's gonna go off, and that's what I think you need. You need another backbone on that team. As much as they are dogs, he has to have someone on the leash. Ja can't be the only one with some people on the leash. That's all I'm trying to say.
Do you guys see the Grizzlies making a push in the playoffs next year seriously? Because if they don't sign anybody, look at how much better the West is getting next year.
If they don't sign anyone, I think they're first round out.
I agree. I think that they have a star name with John Morant, but I honestly really really like that Timberwolves team against them. Talk about Anthony Edwards.
I love
Anthony Edwards' ceiling is just incredible. He's
D-Wade 2.0.
I think it's higher than D-Wade would be. If you see what he's doing right now.
The only thing with Memphis or Minnesota is that I don't know if Minnesota, with them being a Minnesota Timberwolves, can keep Edwards there long term. That's my biggest worry for them.
That's interesting. Yeah.
Like they need to surround them with people now. Like they need to win while they have him, is what you're saying. How long do you think he stays?
He signed an extension with them.
I was just saying he signed an extension. I think he stays at least like probably 3 to 4. But if they at that point haven't made like a deep run and haven't made a push for like a finals, I think at that point he will try to get out.
In 3 to 4 years, Anthony Edwards is going to be the best player in the NBA.
I 100% agree. I love Anthony Edwards.
Who's messing with them? Not LaMelo.
No.
Like
Jaw's highlight reel. But Anthony Edwards can do whatever.
He's Vince Carter.
Yeah, he's Vince Carter, but Anthony Edwards can highlight reel it at any moment, but he also can just take over mid-game and be like, I'm putting 30 up from the threes. Like, I don't have to dunk on you, but I can. Yeah. If you give me the moment, I will dunk on you and make you my son.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love Anthony Edwards.
If we're talking about young talent in the NBA, I feel like Darius Garland's very good. You gotta look at Anthony Edwards. You gotta look at LaMelo Ball. You gotta look at Devin Booker, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. Speaking of those two, I feel like it's 1A, 1B. Would you guys be surprised if they split up in the recent future? Or do you guys think that they're going to be together long term? Because I really do think that Jaylen Brown could be he could be Jason Tatum on another team. Tatum gets a lot of media attention. Yeah. Jaylen Brown was pivotal in the finals. I think that Jason Tatum will return much stronger.
I mean, he had the worst series of his life.
Oh, absolutely.
I think they will, at least for the next couple of years, they will try to make it work. But if they don't win one in the next 3 years, I think the team will have to start to break it up just because the superstars will try. They're superstars. If you're not winning it all, you're not going to stay together. It's the same thing as OKC. Yeah. Like when OKC had their big three, they should have won 10 titles together. Let's be real. Like when Westbrook, Harden, I'm saying like when they were in their prime, they could have easily won 10.
Oh, all of them together, prime KD, prime Russ.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Like when they were in their prime, they could have won 10, but they didn't win any. So that's why they broke apart. It's gonna be the same thing in Boston. If next 3 to 4 years, if they don't win one, at least the superstars will start to pull superstar mode where they're like, okay, I'm going elsewhere to show that I can win.
It's a very.
I think it's gonna be Brown. I think it's gonna be Brown because I said this too in the finals. It looked like he was just stubborn, like he was going to do what he wanted to do, and that was it. Jason Tatum it looked like the moment was too big for him, and he kind of got scared. That was the youth of him. But I think Brown is going to be sick of it because he's like, I'm just as good as this guy, and I'm not getting that media attention. I don't give it 3 to 4 years. They give it a shot. I wouldn't be surprised in like a year from now he dips. Like next year at this time.
It really depends on how this season goes. If they're back in the finals, Jaylen Brown isn't going anywhere.
Yeah.
Because as much as we like that Warriors team and we see that they have that young potential, the second Clay, Steph, Dre retires, which is sad to say, it's going to be coming up soon. In that next 4-year, 5-year window, we're going to start to see those talks. Hope maybe we'll see a decline. Hopefully not from Steph because he's been amazing to watch so far in his career. But the reality of it is age is undefeated. We see James Harden in the past couple years. We see how much he's fallen off. Is Steph Curry going to be seeing that fall off? James Harden was an absolute superstar in Houston. But when we're talking about a team like Boston, if they could just wait that out and keep those superstars together, they only got to really compete with Milwaukee. Maybe a super team forms in the West, but the Warriors could be around forever. But a superstar, developed, experienced Celtics team, which they're bringing back Smart, they're bringing back Tatum, they're bringing back Brown, they're bringing back Horford. Grant Williams will be there.
Horford's the question mark, though. Horford, he could retire. Horford could just call it
in the next few years.
Yeah. Horford
this year.
Not necessarily this year, but there's a chance. Like Horford, because right now he's not. I'm pretty sure he's not actually signed anywhere. Like right now, he's a free agent. I'm pretty sure, or he might have 1 year left on his deal.
I believe it's 1 year.
It could be, but there's talks of him retiring, or honestly, if he doesn't think the Celtics can win it all, I could see him coming back to the Hawks if they get a superstar just to end his career there because he loves the Hawks and the Hawks fans love him. So I think he either stays in Boston for 1 year or he comes back to Atlanta and then retires afterwards. But I think he has 1 or 2 years tops left.
But am I the only one that thinks that the Bucks should have won that series if they had Chris Middleton?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
They got lucky to get to that point.
Miami would have won the series with a healthy Tyler Hero. I mean,
I mean, both as great as Boston was this year, they didn't besides. I mean, even when you say against the Nets, they didn't really play full strength team.
Am I the only one that thinks that their playoff run was quite overrated?
I think I think their playoff run this year is how the Bengals playoff run was for the Super Bowl. Neither team is going to be back next year.
I mean, if we look at their playoff run, it was the Nets in the first round.
That was the Nets in the first round. Brandon, put it here, boss.
What he's happy right now.
It was damn good.
Yeah. If you look at their playoff run this year, you see it was KD and Kyrie in the first round. They traded James Harden and got back Ben Simmons and Seth Curry. Seth Curry played. Ben Simmons was the core piece of that trade. Without Ben Simmons, that trade didn't happen. He didn't touch the court at all. So they swept him. Help me out. Who was the next round against them?
Milwaukee. Milwaukee without Middleton because Middleton got hurt.
Milwaukee without Middleton.
And they took them 7
One superstar is never going to do it.
Yeah. Even when you are the best player in the game, even when you're Giannis, it's just not enough.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then you took Miami, and Miami Hero was hurt.
Miami
Lowry was
with
hurt.
the hurt Hero and Kyle Lowry just out there for fun, you know?
Yeah, and Jimmy Butler literally had to play all 48 minutes.
He was amazing to watch.
Yeah. As much as I don't like him because he beats my team every time, he's great to watch. Like he can take over a game at any point.
But and we're talking about Milwaukee. Bobby Portis declined his extension.
That's okay.
Or his option.
That's fine,
dude. That he was energy for.
To be honest.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. I'm honestly fine with that.
But that's going to your point of like even like their big three isn't really a big three. It's Giannis who takes up 3 people, and then have Drew, and then like Chris Middleton who's like up there. You need more depth than those guys, and that's what they were. To lose that, I think, is a bigger deal than.
Yeah, but this gives them a chance to sign other people. It's not like you're not losing one of your big threes, really. You're losing one of your starters, yes, but not like it's an okay piece to lose.
Yeah, I mean, and then also you're looking at free agency this year, and there's going to be a lot of people like kind of like along the lines of what he could do for you.
Yeah, because his stat line's what, maybe 17 and like 7 or something like that, if that even, which isn't. That stat line's not hard to come by, I feel like, honestly.
Yeah.
Especially if you're playing with Giannis. Like, if you can't go 17 and 7 with Giannis, then like you should not be playing. Like, I feel like everyone at that point should almost average a double-double.
Yeah, I mean, the Knicks center Mitchell Robinson, he's going to be up for grabs. Kevon Looney's up for grabs. I do see Golden State retaining him. PJ Tucker's up for grabs. Marvin Bagley.
I could see Tucker going back to Milwaukee.
I could see him going back to Milwaukee, but you have all those bigs that are probably better than Bobby Portis.
Yeah.
Bobby Portis was just fun to watch. He was like JaVale McGee on the Warriors.
Yeah.
You got Mo Bamba in free agency. You got Thaddeus Young from Toronto.
Patty Mills.
There's people who could do what Bobby Portis are going to do.
Yeah,
so if they let him go for like a mid-level exception guy or a minimum guy.
Especially if it's for less money, where they can sign a secondary piece as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
But let's get on to Wadide's Lakers, because I know he wants to, and I just feel like this is just going to make us both laugh right now. Someone start, because I'm just going to laugh if I start.
I don't know what the hell they could do. I don't even know.
Shall we start with who re-signed?
Say it.
Westbrook. For how much also? How much did he sign for again? What was his? 44. It's like top 5 in the league right now. How much money he's making?
I think it's like just behind Steph.
Yeah, just behind Steph. I'm pretty sure he's making more than LeBron at this point from this. Yeah. So what are you doing? What is your team doing, bud?
What they should be doing is calling Oklahoma City Thunder and saying, "Hey, give me a 15th round pick and I'll take him." Get him.
I mean, OKC has like another 37 picks left in the draft, so they have picks.
Just one pick, we'll take it. Honestly, they need to blow this thing up to the nth degree. I don't even know who you get and sign. Like, if somehow, like, I just think they need to get rid of Russ, and I don't even trust AD, and I think they should get rid of him. He was in talks with Hawks.
Do you think that the Lakers should have signed Kyrie to sign and trade?
He wasn't going to do that because of this. He was going to get paid $30 million less.
You know what I mean? He was prepared to. The Lakers just said no. That's the reason he signed. That's why he re-signed with the Nets, because the only team the list of teams that he was fine with. Yeah, because
he wasn't happy with what he was getting.
The Lakers said no, we don't want you, even basically. So LeBron said no, we don't want you.
But like, how much do we? No. There's first of all, there's no way LeBron said no. It is way better than what you have right now. I would take 50 games from Kyrie than freaking 82 from.
Yeah, but the mental games you have to go through every single game.
He did it before. But I mean, like, now I don't know what do they? Who do they even look at? Like, what do you give up? What do you trade? What do you have in the cap space? Because you're giving this guy that could do what me and Jeremy and Brandon can do. Nothing. $44 million.
You have 2 players taking up $90 million right now.
I say LeBron needs to go back to Cleveland.
I can see that happening, but LeBron is in LA next year. I think we can all agree on that.
LeBron's not moving until his son's drafted it, and then he will go to wherever his son's drafted.
I could see his son also not getting drafted potentially.
Yeah.
as talented of a basketball player as he is, none of us are getting on the court with Bronny or Bros for that matter. As talented of a basketball player he is, speak for myself.
I was gonna take yeah. Speak for yourself.
There's a lot of guys. There's a lot of really, really good prospects coming out. So
I mean, right now
it'd be cool to see him get drafted. I could see him doing a couple of years in college. But I do think that LeBron's in LA for at least the next year. I believe he has 2 years left on his contract, if I'm not mistaken.
2 years left, yes.
So also, next season and the season after. Yeah. If we're being honest, Russ he's not a $44 million player anymore. But I do think that he's a starting point guard. He started 78 games for them out of the 78 that he played. Hear me out. He played without Russ this season. I want you to name 7 players on the Lakers that made significant contributions outside of LeBron and Russell Westbrook.
Glass cannon.
Monk is gone.
Glass cannon. They all just get hurt.
Me, Brandon, Jeremy, we basically made the contribution. But
so Russell Westbrook had the highest usage rate of his career on this Lakers team with a LeBron who clearly wasn't 100%. It felt like at sometimes this season. When Russell plays with significant help, look at his OKC teams. He was carrying them. He was on a hot streak, but he was doing what Trae Young's doing in Atlanta, volume. He's putting up 30 points a game on a high volume. I could see Russ not being a $40 million player next year, but I could see him making a significant contribution at point guard. I see them signing Mac McClung to a minimum deal. I think he's what you need right now. He's a better version of Austin Reeves, in my opinion. He'll probably be a little bit more expensive. I'll be surprised if Austin Reeves on the team this year. Maybe he gets on a 2-way contract. If Anthony Davis can stay healthy, which is a big if, I really do think that the Lakers, they're there. This is a very unique year for circumstances. LeBron and Russ have never played this many minutes and ran that many miles in their career on a court. They were tired. The Lakers were in a really unique situation where they did not have a backup plan. They were the Warriors in 2018 when they played the Raptors without a guy like KD. If KD's not on that Warriors team, you kind of look at it, their bench was depleted because they had so much money going to KD. Yeah. And that's what's happening right now because Russ, because AD, because LeBron.
Do you think that any of the legacy signings the Lakers have made in this offseason so far are going to matter with them signing all these juniors of top 75 players?
John Stockton Jr., is that who you're talking about? Or
Stockton, then there's Pippen as well, his son. There's a bunch of juniors that they signed. I don't think it's going to matter myself, but
I don't believe it will matter, but I think a lot of us are counting the Lakers out. I
don't think they're out.
Russ isn't untouchable.
Shut up. Yes, you do. Shut up.
No.
Yes, you do.
They're going to be better than they were last year. There's no way LeBron misses playoffs. There's no way LeBron misses playoffs 2 years in a row. Because he's top.
Look at the
top
West.
2. The West, I personally think the West is less stacked than the East.
Yeah. The East is very competitive because it's very well split.
Yeah.
The West.
Okay, but let's walk through
the Pelicans. The Pelicans.
Okay. You want to talk Dallas? You don't know for sure about Dallas right now because until Brunson's replaced, you only have 2. You only have 2 superstars.
They have Luka. Luka took Clippers with Kristaps Porzingis 7 games.
Brunson added 22 a game. Brunson was big enough to help. So,
assuming they get another piece, which it seems like they're making moves, they're not done yet.
Do it.
Dallas, Phoenix, Nuggets, Clippers, Warriors, Memphis. That's 6.
Yeah, but you have playing teams too, and you're probably at least one of those teams you just listed will be playing.
Okay, then what? New Orleans?
No,
that's another.
No,
they made the play. They made the.
That was
New Orleans. The healthy Zion's not a playing team; they're a playoff team.
But is Zion actually going to be healthy? That's the question. That's the same thing as AD going to be healthy? Yeah,
that's.
I see Zion putting up 60 games this year.
He should be, but it's also if he decides not to be James Harden's size weight-wise.
That's messed up.
It is. You're right, but it's
facts. It is facts. It is literally facts.
I mean, if we're looking at the West this year, kind of going back to what Deed said, Denver's in.
Yes, Denver's in. I love Denver.
Portland being in. I see Utah being a play-in team. I see Golden State being in. I see the Clippers being in. I see I see the Suns being there again, especially if they get DeAndre Jordan back, not DeAndre Ayton back.
Yeah.
Dallas.
I'm running out of fingers.
Houston has some young start potential. Maybe they can make a play. Like if we could see what Jalen Green.
But do you really think that those teams will, like, the fact that LeBron would then not make the playoffs 2 years in a row?
We also forgot about Minnesota.
Unless LeBron falls off, LeBron will make it to the playoffs this year. Will he be a first round bounce? Probably, though.
But like he's gonna like just with the team he has, I can't see currently constructed them making any noise when Minnesota's gonna get better. Golden State, Phoenix, Denver.
This isn't Miami LeBron anymore. Yeah, this isn't Miami LeBron.
Maybe Mitchell wants to leave and go to a new place. I don't think he should even go to the Lakers. I think he should go somewhere else. What else do you do?
Like, we have the whole off season to see. In 2 months from now, once I say what we do is once the season starts back up, say whatever opening weekend or whatnot, we come back. We have Anthony back on, or Jeremy, not Anthony. Sorry, I was thinking of names, and then wow,
you're thinking about Anthony Davis to the Hawks.
Yep. Oh God, don't mention that to me. No, but so we have Jeremy back on. Once the off season is fully changed, and we do some predictions, we see what we think at this point. We see who actually made more moves to get better, who didn't make moves, who we think got worse because of signs that we don't like, and then we go from there. Because right now, like, this is like trying to say what's going to happen in the 2024 football season. Absolutely. Like it's so, like, as much. I mean, we could talk another 3 hours about this probably because we could go in depth about every team. But let's figure out. Let's end this all. Each one of us say one trade or one signing that we think should happen that we think really would help. Not necessarily for our teams, but just in general. And then we'll come back in a couple months if Jeremy wants to come back on. Hopefully, he doesn't say no. I understand if he does.
Killed it. You freaking killed it.
But yeah, so hopefully, and at that point, we can talk more in depth about how the offseason fully went and go from there about who we truly think is going to make the playoffs and whatnot, and make some predictions.
My move that I would like to see is Mitchell to the Knicks.
Okay.
And are we giving reasoning for any of it?
Nope. I just want to see that. I just want to see it.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm being honest, Zach LaVine is probably the biggest free agent.
Stealing my name right there.
Yeah, Zach. I'd like to see Zach LaVine go to. I'd like to see him return to Chicago. I doubt that happens. If I'm being honest, it's like DeMar took his spot there. I wouldn't be surprised if he went to a team like Dallas.
That's fair.
Okay.
I'm on the Zach LaVine kind of bandwagon also with him. As much as Chicago wants to keep him, I don't see him being kept. And I think it'd be a spicy pick if somehow he ended up in like Philadelphia to have a big three.
With James Harden.
With James Harden and Embiid.
That's disrespectful to Tyrese Maxey.
Tyrese Maxey is going to be their starting point guard next year. If James Harden wants to play shooting guard again, he could do it. Well, yeah.
Also, James Harden could leave and you could get LaVine then. Either way, I think it would be interesting.
I think that would be a great move if they get rid of
that. Was a lot of money to turn down on James Harden. So
yeah.
He's serious about winning. So I wouldn't be surprised if he came back for less money as well.
Absolutely. That was great. It kind of got intense. Like, Jeremy, you made us work a little bit, man. Like, thank you so much for being on. Me and Jeremy actually.
Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, I hope both of you guys have a safe trip and a fun time over in Cali. Hopefully things go well there and that Wadi doesn't drive you insane where you can't make it back on the pod.
I probably will. But Brandon, safe travels too for your camp, your visits, your moving around, and looking forward to next week. Make sure you guys stay on the lookout for that. We'll be in touch, guys. Peace.